Shalom, shalom, Israel. Want to open up and give all honor, glory, and praise to like the Most High God, to like the Most High God, Yahweh, in the name of His only begotten Son, Hamashach, Wamalak, Yahweh Shah. I'm joined today by my mighty brother in the spirit, Yishmael.
Khan, shalom, shalom. Khan.
Khan. So, in today's lesson, through the spirit, we'll be going into what to do when you hit rock bottom, man. Because this truth is not easy, man. People think, you did something wrong when times get tough for you. You know, when you start to go face demons, when you may be on hard times financially, when your mind may not be, people think it's something wrong with you. When in all reality, that does not have to be the case, man. Sometimes in this truth, you're going to be low. Sometimes you're going to feel weak, man. That's a part of like this truth. Through the spirit, the Most High said that we have to enter into the kingdom through much tribulation, man.
That's right.
So every day it's not going to be I'm feeling mighty through the spirit, man. You call the brother every day. I'm feeling mighty in the spirit, brother. I don't believe you. For 6 months straight, you've been mighty in the spirit. You've been mighty, not just in the mighty and in the spirit, man. Brother, I don't believe you, man. So in this truth, we understand that we all go through ups and also through downs, man. And we got to know how to maintain and know how to be able to balance these things. Because in my humble opinion, it's easy to get on somebody for being proud, too high, you're not being meek, this, but it's much harder through the spirit. It is not as common through the spirit to be able to help somebody when they're low, man. Be able to tell that brother, hey, I know you're going through it, brother, but don't forget that you're a king on the earth, that you're a God on the earth. To tell that sister, hey, you are the Most High's daughter, man. At the end of the day, He is going to take care of you. So through the spirit, that's what this a video is for. Not just to get on people when they're high. Nah, we need to encourage our people when they're low, man, because that's when it really matters, man. When you're low, when you're going through it, hey, who's going to be there to help you, man? What do you turn to? Do you turn back to your old man? Back to sin? Back to smoking? Back to lust? Back to that woman, right? Back to TV, binge watching, and you eating snacks and you just throwing back chips. You done tore through 2 bags. They were 2 for $5. You done tore through 2 of them within the past 4 hours. Or are you going to fight these demons? Or are you going to be encouraged, be motivated through the spirit? So that being said, I'm gonna kick it off through the spirit, get a precept. I'm gonna pass it. So yeah, make sure my screen, share screen. Okay, so like, I think they updated this app, man. done. It changed a few things, but this is the book of Judith, chapter 9, verse number 11. For thy power standeth not in multitude, nor thy might in strong men. So the Most High's strength and power, it doesn't really show when a brother is at his max, man. I'm gonna make sure my screen is showing. Okay, Colin. The Most High doesn't get to show his strength when you're just at the max. The brother Yishmael, you got the mic, shaking the hand, sheep getting fed. We know that that's the Most High, right? But let's see when we get to see the Most High in a much greater light, man. For thou art a God of the afflicted, man. So I know when the Most High helps me, when I got demons plaguing my mind, playing in my spirit, evil thoughts, sins, when I go off, and when I know the Most High forgave me for that through the Spirit, and now I'm starting to feel stronger. I'm starting to have more zeal in this thing, and I know that that's the Most High, man. And I can see His strength, man, His power. Why? Because it's not with the mighty and this, and that. No, He is a God of the afflicted and helper of the oppressed. So at the end of the day, if you're low, you have to have faith, which is not hard. Which is not easy, but we have to have it, man. We have to have faith that the Most High is a helper of the oppressed, man, and upholder of the weak. So in this, I mean, I don't care what man says, men in this flesh, in these vain bodies, with our minds, us coming from the world, you're going to get weak sometimes, mentally, spiritually, physically. And we got to know that God is a helper of just of like the weak, of the afflicted, of the oppressed. And it's not a bad thing that you feel weak. That's not something out of the blue. That's not something extraordinary, man. Right? But we have to know through the Spirit what to do when we feel weak, what to do when we feel like we're at rock bottom, huh? A protector of the forlorn, right? Let's see what this word means, right? Pitifully sad, lonely. So you brothers and also sisters that feel lonely, the Most High, He is your protector. When you may be walking to the car for the sisters, you may be pumping gas and it's 9 p.m. and it's dark. And you may have a little bit of doubt. You may have a little bit of fear, but you need this gas to go make it back home. Hey, have faith, be strong, and that the Most High, He is our protector, man. A savior of them that are without hope, man. So the Most High, hey, He is our savior. We're banking on Him, man. So when we hit rock bottom, when we feel low, when we feel weak, we have to understand that, hey, that's why God is God. That's why He's there, man, to help us, to strengthen us, man. I mean, what good would the Lord be if you just felt good all of the time? I mean, why would you need the Lord? That's just like men that have wealth. If you have everything that you want, I mean, why do you need the Most High? So we got to understand through the Spirit that when we hit rock bottom, hey, the Most High, hey, He's there for us, man. He's our protector. He's our upholder. He gives us strength, whether it be financial woes. You may be going through it, man. Car payments, you already may be late 2 months. And you're getting phone calls, man. Phone calls, man, from unknown numbers. And you don't answer them, but you picked one up by accident. And all you hear is yelling. Or pink slips on damn doors. This is real life, man. This truth is real life. This isn't just hopping on the video where Yeshmaya, we pull precepts, kind of close up the Bible, and kind of go on and sleep. Then Brother Yeshmaya get beamed up. Then I get beamed up. Then we just in the chair, come back down, Sabbath day, shake the hand. Then we just get, we live real lives, man. We battle real demons, real spirits. We have real mindsets. We get afflicted mentally, spiritually, physically. We see others that are in a lower state. So we have to know that God is our God. We got to have faith in that. And He is going to help us. He is going to strengthen us within these last days. But come on, King, I'm going to pass it to you.
Con, that's a beautiful point, King. And if you can pull up 2 Corinthians chapter 12, the classic. We're going, a lot of times, especially, I'm going to speak strictly from experience. Whenever I'm low in spirit, you have to remind yourself that the Most High God, He has thoughts of peace unto us. I know that's not the precept I just told you to pull, but I'm gonna grab that real quick. Jeremiah chapter 29 and verse number 11. Right, Jeremiah chapter 29 and verse number 11, it says, "For I know the thoughts that I think towards you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end." And a lot of times, we don't, in the midst of affliction, there is a forgetfulness of prosperity, as the scriptures say in Sirach chapter 11. So a lot of times we don't examine the latter end of certain situations or a certain circumstance that we may be placed in. We're only focused on the right thing and right now. And sometimes that lack of prudence to be able to look off into the future, sort of say, or, use and exercise prudence to know that the Most High God has thoughts of peace towards us and not of evil, to give us an expected end. So, it's interesting that the Lord, He used the word expected, because when you expect something, you count on it to be there for you. Right? Hey, it says regarded as likely, anticipated. So a lot of times we have to anticipate the mercy and the grace and the rejoicing and the prosperity of Yahweh Ba'Shem Mashiach Yahushua. We be so focused and locked in on the current circumstances, on the current, drama, or on everything that's taking place right now. And hey, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I'm speaking from experience. It's very, very easy to be trapped in the now because you got to deal with it. You can't, hey, like as brothers say all the time, you got to deal with it. You feel me? You can't act as if it's not there. You can't act like there's not an elephant in the room. Certain circumstances they have to be dealt with, and these situations they actually have to be felt, whether that be through physical trauma. You feel me? You got brothers and sisters that may have to recover, from physical things that may have happened, whether that be through accidents. And hey, I know brothers that ain't got injured on the job. You feel me? They was injured on the job, so now they have to go through PT, physical therapy. They have to go through certain things so that their body can regain its health, or even mentally. You feel me? A lot of brothers and sisters, they deal with mental battles and things that they dealt with in the past that they're still trying to fight off to this day, or emotionally. And guess what? It's not going to skip the spiritual matters as well. You feel me? So we have to anticipate the grace and mercy of Yahweh B'Shem Mashiach Yahushua, because that is very, very easy in the midst of affliction to forget that prosperity. But I wanted to go back to that 2 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse number 9. 2 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse number 9. It says, "And he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness." And that ties back to exactly what the brother Yakar was just going into. The fact that the Most High's strength is made perfect in weakness. So whenever brothers or sisters are feeling weak through the spirit, weak physically, weak emotionally, you may be weak financially, whatever the case may be, whatever the area of your life that is now being targeted by Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, ultimately, whatever it is, you got to understand that the Most High strength is going to be made perfect when you're in the midst of that weakness. So you have to keep going. You have to. Brothers that go to the gym, everybody has to start somewhere. Brothers that go to the gym, they don't just start off them putting on 4 45 plates on both sides of the bench press. And you just go in there and you just max out. That's not how it works. You have to go and literally get built up. You feel me? And over consistency, over dedication, over time, over patience. When all these things start to accumulate and add up, that's where strength is brought forth. So even brothers and sisters in the midst of tribulation and affliction and all the things that life brings unto us, all the things that we have to deal with, especially being in this world, especially being within these bodies, these mortal bodies, are we actually putting ourselves in a mind frame to look forward or to anticipate that expected end of the Most High strength being made perfect in the midst of our weakness? And that's a question that we have to ask ourselves a lot. But Khan, you got it, King.
Khan, can you hear this in the background? Okay, Khan, it's 808. Something having no damn block party, man. 808s. So this thing is spiritual, man. Satan, man. We're gonna stay focused in this thing. I'm about to read the book of Jonah, King. So if you have any points or any precepts during it, feel free to bring it out.
Come
to the book of Jonah chapter 2, right? Because if you do not know, Jonah is supposed to go somewhere. He didn't do what he was supposed to do. The Most High had a whale, a fish, to go swallow him up. Huh? So this is the book of Jonah, chapter 2, verse 2. So it's great through the Spirit to have this Bible, man. Because if we didn't have the Bible up, what would we be doing, man? When you feel stressed.
Still stressing. Still lost.
Still stressing.
Nobody to call on.
Say it again.
Nobody to call on.
Yup. Yup. Damn, man. I believe that's inside right 19. I'm gonna see if that's what I want. About man that lives his life without a guide, man. If you're familiar with what I'm talking, give me
It's all right, 20 and
20,
32.
20. Kind. I appreciate that. The water. So I 20. Put that one in a minute. That's a mighty precept, man. Test the book of Sirach, chapter 20, verse number 32. Necessary patience and seeking Yahweh is better than he that leadeth his life without a God, man. So we don't have to seek the Most High, and it's going to be patiently, man. It's where patience, to accept or tolerate delay. So we have to understand that just because we ask, that doesn't mean we're going to get it right now, man. Trouble or suffering. So it's the capability to accept suffering without getting angry or upset, man. So we got to be patient in us seeking the Most High God, man. So just a book of Jonah, chapter 2, verse 2, and said, I cried by the reason of mine affliction. So it gets like that, man. You may be afflicted in your mind. You may want these spirits to damn leave you. You may be battling slothful spirit. You may be battling lust. You may be battling being covetous. You may have a doubt demon on you. You may have wicked thoughts just running through your head out of left field, man. And you may sincerely cry. You may pray. Tears may come out your eyes, man. But cried because of my affliction unto the Most High, man. He didn't cry to a damn therapist, man. You know, he didn't set up a damn online Zoom appointment with a therapist. Yeah, I got something I got to get off my chest. And he didn't start crying. No, he cried unto the Lord. He just didn't cry for no reason except for his affliction. So this is a mighty thing to do, man. To cry unto the Lord, man, for your affliction. When you feel like you're at your wit's end, man. When you don't know what to do. When you feel like you tried out all your options and nothing's still working, man. When you prayed about it, you fasted about it, you read the precepts about it, you watched 3 videos on it, and it's still plaguing. Cry out unto the Lord, man. And he heard me. Out of the belly of hell cried I, and thou hearest my voice. For thou hadst cast me into the deep, in the midst of the sea. Sometimes it feels like that, man. I don't get into it, man. But sometimes I feel like the water is coming up here. It feels like these demons want you to drown, man. Casting you to the deep. Man, if you've ever felt how it almost feels to drown, that's a scary feeling, man. That's a very scary feeling. You got water all in your lungs. You're trying to breathe, but you're breathing in water. You're trying to swim up, but it's dark. It's into the midst of the seas. You got damn waves crashing. If you've experienced that, you kind of know something about that, man. Damn boat capsized, and now you're in the water, trying to figure out what's going on. So sometimes spiritually, it can feel like that, man. Bills piling up to the roof. Your car's broken. You spent $3,000 trying to fix the car, and your next paycheck don't come to then. So you're trying to match up and catch up, and this and rent is due, and this and this. So sometimes it feels like this, man. And the floods come past me about. All thy billows and thy waves passed over me. Then I said, I am cast out of thy sight. So hey, that's how it can feel, man. Like the Most High, he's not dealing with me, man. I'm going through this. A demon could say, hey, you may be a heathen, man. Someone, well, I don't know who my great grandfather really was. So the way I'm just looking now, the Lord maybe not dealing with me, man. So don't feel like that's a wicked off. That's what our forefathers felt, man. But we got to see it. Did he mellow in that sin? Did he allow that thought to conquer him? Did he say, well, I guess I'm an Edomite? Take off his fringe. He been in the truth for 5 years. Next thing you know, you take off your fringes. Just like the sister pulls off her head wrap, and then you start burning stuff, man. Nah, that's not what he did. Let's see what he did. Yet I will look again toward thy holy temple, huh? And he said, hey, I'm gonna continue to look, man, to the temple and pray. The waters come past me about, even to the soul. So that's how you know this thing wasn't even really physical. It was more spiritual than it was physical, man, for him. Because imagine being swallowed in a. I mean, there's no way in a cardinal in your mind. You think there's no way I'm gonna escape from this, man. I don't know what's coming next. This damn thing could drop acid. It could melt my whole body. I don't. I mean, am I gonna starve to death? Am I gonna have water? What's going on, man? The depth closed me round about. The weeds were wrapped around my head. Right. Um, I'm gonna jump down to verse 8, right? But I will sacrifice unto thee with the voice of thanksgiving. I will pay that I have vowed. Salvation is of the Lord, man. So at the end of the day, we have to remember that salvation, although I hit rock bottom, for me to get up, this is of the Lord, man. I was meditating as when the Lord put this upon my mind, about like this video. When you hit rock bottom, the only way to go is up. I mean, where else are you gonna go? Only way to go is up. So do not forsake the Most High God, man. Salvation is of the Most High God, man. Let's read verse 10. And Yahweh spake unto the fish, man. So we have to know at any point in time the Most High can speak unto that demon that is vexing us, can speak unto that boss, man, that's giving us hell, can speak into that man, right, that is abusing you, right? And it vomited out Jonah upon the dry land, man. So at any point in time, the Most High, he can remove you from these situations, man, from these damn demons, from when you feel like you're lost and you're just about to give up, man. In these situations, feel like feel like Satan. I was talking this about a brother. You feel like Satan choking you out, got you in a damn headlock. He got the arm. Satan knows what he's doing. He got the hand on the bicep and he's pulling, and he has strong grip strength. That's how I feel sometimes spiritually, huh? But we have to know that salvation is of the Lord, and at any point in time, the Most High can change my. Hey, the Lord literally spoke to the fish, and Jonah kind of just got about that thing upon dry land. We don't know the fish. Fish supposed to be in the ocean. How the hell did he land on dry land? Fish are a whale is in the middle of the ocean. Whales don't get in damn water that's shallow. So how did the whale spit him out and he land on? Hey, that's the Lord, man. That's the Most High, man. So we got to have that faith, that confidence within the Lord that, okay, I know I'm going through it now, but I know my God is powerful, man. And at any point in time, the Most High can redeem and save me and pull me out of this situation. I just got to keep going, man. I just got to continue to take steps forward. I just got to continue to pray, continue to read, continue to fast, continue to study, man. Continue to get advice, get counsel, man. Because I know that my God is basically for me, man. But Khan, I'm gonna pass it back, King.
Khan, if you could, King, go back to that Jonah chapter 2, in verse number 7. You know, that's a powerful verse right there. I'll read it. It says, Jonah chapter 2 and 7. When my soul fainted within me, I remembered the Lord. So that shows us something about Jonah. He was at I ain't gonna say he was at a point where he was about to faint. He said, when my soul fainted. You feel me? Brothers and sisters are literally going through it. But the difference between you and that situation that you're going through is, are you going to always remember the Lord? You have to. So when brothers and sisters are taking these things and, you know, everything is being placed on your shoulders, you got to keep in the back of your mind always, Yahweh wa Yahweh Shai. Yahweh wa Yahweh Shai. Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh in the name of his only begotten son, Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. You got to always remember the Lord, even when your soul inside of you, it faints. You feel me? Then it says, and my prayer came in unto thee into thine holy temple. And something that I thought, I was thinking about this probably about a week ago. Imagine the things you were praying for 7, 8 months ago, 2, 3 years ago. You don't understand, or you don't know when your prayers are going to return into your bosom. You don't know that. You could be praying for something now that ends up happening unto you 6 months from now. You could have prayed for something 3 years ago that is going to come to your aid and come to your help in the current situation that you are currently in right now. A lot of times it's a perspective thing. Yeah, we got to switch up our perspectives and understand that, again, our God is not the God that doesn't want to give us the kingdom. It says in the scripture, it's of the Father's delight to give us the kingdom. Roughly paraphrasing. Yeah, we gotta understand those things, right? Yeah, Khan, the brother pulled it out. All praises. It's the book of Luke, chapter 12, in verse number 32. It says, "Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom." Yeah, the Lord, he wants to give out the kingdom. Yeah, so we got to understand that the Most High God, like, yo, you put the Most High God in a box by thinking that your situation can't be fixed. You put the Most High God in a box by thinking that this circumstance, or whatever it is that you're going through, is permanent, as if it can't change. You put the Lord in a box. You know, so we have to constantly, just call these things into remembrance. The second point that I was going to make was the fact that, I was talking to an individual, and I asked him, what keeps you going, when you basically in the mud. Everybody, has felt that you in a lower state. That could be financially. Brothers and sisters have had to work extended shifts, just to make ends meet. You feel me? Brothers and sisters have had to, even put their body on the line to make ends meet. You're killing yourself down near. You done with 3 days with 2 hours of sleep. You feel me? Hey, brothers go work these construction jobs. A sister may take on a role, being a hostess. You feel me? Or a waitress. Trucking. Brothers and sisters, they literally, certain occupations, you're putting your life at risk just to make ends meet. So I asked the individual, I said, hey, like, how do you, what's your mindset when you're going through that type of time? And he said, hey, think about others. There's somebody out in this world that got it way worse than you. But we be so caught up in our situation and so narrow-minded and so tunnel vision that we fail to understand, or we fail to see all the blessings that the Most High God has given us. And that brings me to, if you can, King, Ecclesiastes chapter 6 and verse number 9. Ecclesiastes chapter 6 and verse number 9. Yeah, we can't overlook our blessings because we see a Goliath in our way. You feel me? We see Goliath and we forget about the Lord. Nah, you gotta look at Goliath and look at the Lord and be like, okay, the Lord is standing behind Goliath, and the Lord is far bigger, far stronger, far more powerful than Goliath could ever be. And just to make it plain, Goliath, that is symbolic for any of your trials, any of your temptations, anything that is standing in your way and is willing to take your life, if it had the opportunity to. We got to look past Goliath and focus on Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Because Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, he's the one that slays Goliath for us. And if you go back and read, David, he was praised and he was acknowledged, and he was after the Most High's heart because he had the type of mindset that acknowledged the Lord and gave the victory of the battle to the Lord because he understood that it was not his own. But to read this precept, this is Ecclesiastes chapter 6 and verse number 9. It says, better is the sight of the eyes than the wandering of the desire. This is also vanity and vexation of spirit. So with the sight of the eyes, we all have the ability to see the things that are before us. We can examine our blessings. Okay, hey man, I got a roof over my head. You can look down, you can look in the mirror. Damn, I got raiment on my back. You just put the fork down, you say, damn, man, hey, my stomach is full. You know, everybody does not have the same exact blessings that you have. So sometimes we have to know that the blessings that we do have now, we're better off with the sight of our eyes, as the scripture says, than the wondering of the desire. You out here wondering about, you know, things that you can't control, or things that you may want, or how you want something to change. Nah, you got to look at your current lot, look at your current circumstances, and be able to analyze and acknowledge the blessings that the Lord has bestowed unto you at this given moment in time. One more quick precept, King, the book of Psalms, chapter 68. The 68th Psalm. The 68th Psalm, and verse number 19. Right? Psalm chapter 68 and verse number 19. It says, blessed be the Lord who daily loadeth us with benefits, even the God of our salvation, Salah. Yeah, the Most High God, he the type of guy, he give you benefits every single day. It says daily. And the Lord is not a man that he should lie. So when we talking about, you know, the Most High God, you know, we got to understand that, yeah, you know, the Most High, he's about abundance. You know, he wants us to be, you know, filled with joy, filled with the love or the fruits of the Spirit, filled with all of these things. So whenever, you know, we have something that appears to us that we don't have, whether that be tangible items or intangible items, whether that be circumstances or positions that we may be in life currently, whatever the case may be, we got to understand that the Lord, he's given us our benefits for the day. And if you're able to acknowledge all of those things, then you got to look in the mirror and be like, yo, what am I tripping for? Why am I causing all this ruckus? Why am I saying woe is me? We have to acknowledge that, you know, even though we go through tribulation and affliction, the Most High God, he has his hand on other individuals, you know, in ways that you couldn't even imagine. Yeah, Job, he lost everything. Everything. His wife was shaking her hand at him. His children, his riches were taken from him. We got to put this in terms we can understand. You see these rich men in the world today. Imagine having everything you could ever want, and you serve the Most High God. Yeah, you have everything you want, a man could possibly want. You serve the Most High God. You're seen as perfect. All your peers, all your fellows, all your kinsmen, they respect you. And then you lose it all. Yeah, the Most High God, he not something to play with. And what did Job say? He said, hey, the Lord, he gives and the Lord, he takes. You feel me? He threw his hands up. He gave all praise to the Lord. Yeah, David, he did some things in his lifetime that, you know, he shouldn't have done. Hey, his child got put to death. David did something that he shouldn't have done. Hey, and an angel stood over the city. And people got put to death on David's behalf. And David went to the Lord. He said, hey, don't take them, take me. Yeah, people got different lots and different things they got to go through. But are you able to acknowledge the blessings that the Most High God has already given you? And allow those things to hold more weight than your pain, hold more weight than your sorrow, hold more weight than the temporary suffering that we are currently enduring. And when I say temporary, that could be 3 years. You got to keep in mind that, time, that's something for man. The Most High God, he doesn't have to check the clock and say, oh, what time is it? He turn around. The Lord doesn't have to do those things. We have to do those things. The Most High God, he exists outside of the realm of time. The Ancient of Days, the first and the last. So temporary to the Lord, that can be 4 years to you. So, I just, that's the point. We can't put the Most High God in a box, but you got it, King.
Come on. Mighty points, King. Mighty points, man. Especially that analogy that you did with also David, man. Because we all got our giant that we got to face. And I like that account because you have men that were mightier than David. Saul, he was king. Yeah, David's older brothers. That these men were warriors, like real warriors, man. These men were built. These men have fringes, probably long beards, muscular swords and shields, and been training all of their lives for this, man. But who took down Goliath? David, man. Not off of his strength, not because he was the most mighty man ever, not because he was like the person that knew all of the precepts, or because he was a prayer. No, because he had faith, man. Because he kept the Most High first within his mind, man. So that's the type of spirit that we have to be moving in these last days, because stuff is hard now, and stuff is going to continue to be hard, man. So we have to, through the spirit, know what to do when we hit rock bottom in this thing. Man. I'm gonna share my screen. Let's get 2 Corinthians 4. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse number 17. For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, man. So we have to understand that we're not in this truth just for no reason, man. Me and the brother Ishmael, we're not just doing this video just to hear ourselves speak, man. Just to take turns and go back and forth and then press end. No, we want to help people, man. We want to help our people out there that's struggling, man. They may be weak, that may be faint in this thing, man. And we understand that through the spirit, us doing this video through the spirit, the Most High has everything written down. The Most High is very orderly, man. So our light affliction in this land, in this captivity, in these bodies is really chiefly but for a moment, man. I was meditating upon, I'm not gonna get it, but I was meditating upon the book of Philippians 2, where it said Christ was obedient unto death, man. And understanding that kind of puts a time span on things. Because what can you do after you die? The Most High said there's no work within the grave. There's no glory, and there's no praying, there's no fasting. So we got to endure, Most High willing, until the day where the Most High calls our spirit back up, man, to Him. And so this affliction is for a moment, man. Work is for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory, man. So we got to be obedient unto death, Most High willing. Continue to swing. Swing, man. We understand that this is a fight, but put your guard up, man. Sometimes in a fight, you don't have to push the gas pedal the whole damn time. You're gonna run out of energy, man. There's some times in the fight where you're weak, and they got you in like the corner, and he's throwing hooks, uppercuts, body blows, and his footwork is immaculate because he got you in the corner, man. And does that mean that the fight is over? No. Keep swinging. Hold your guard up, kind of do what you got to do, kind of hit him with the jab, kind of lean, kind of grab him a little bit, wait for the ref to separate you, and now he's standing, man. You kind of caught your breath. So just because you're in a bad spot now, that doesn't mean that the fight is over. You can still swing. You can still, hey, move, man. Stick and move in this thing, man. Spiritually. Spiritually, man. I'm gonna get this. Book of Romans 8, verse number 18. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time, and again, all we got to do is suffer unto death. If we do, I have faith that if we do what we need to do unto death, hey, I'm gonna make it up out of here. Hey, that's what I believe, huh? I believe that if I remain pure, remain clean, do keep the commandments, most I will, and just increase in faith and in works. If I do these things until the day I die, I got faith I'm gonna be within the kingdom, Lord. Are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us, man. So the sufferings that we go through now, they're but for a moment, man. Really, we gotta endure this thing unto death, man. So in your rock bottom, continue to swing, man. Continue to fight, Lord willing. Continue to stand on your own too, most I willing. Don't give up, man. Because when you give up, that's when you lose. That's when you choose to lose like your crown. You let Satan win. I mean, are we really going to let Satan win? I would say some words. I know we we love, but hey, I'm not letting Satan win. Lord forbid, man. We got to fight in this thing, man. And we understand that us fighting is not in vain. Where we understand that it's for a much greater cause. You know, because we don't know the Most High's plan. The Most High could be strengthening you this whole time. You crying, snot coming out your nose, this, but the Most High He's using. Hey, I was meditating upon this. Hey, the Most High. There's been some times where I've been low, and the Most High used these things to help me. Now I'm looking back, like, damn, I'm kind of glad that I went through that. Now, if you see me when I'm going through it, head down, I'm enduring, I'm enduring. I'm going through it. May call the brother. You may start crying on the phone with a brother, asking why, asking how. You may, but on the back end through the spirit, and I can see, okay, these things were for my growth. I can see, the Most High had me dodge a pothole, and I learned this, and this. All praises to the Most High. Okay, that was a speed bump. I see it now, but I know if that ever happens again, I know it's going to happen again. I need to do this. I cannot do this. I cannot do this, but I need to do this. And at least once a week, I need to do this as well. So take these things cheerfully through the spirit. I told him, hey, we're in this thing for the long haul, man. We're for lifers. Most of our women, we for lifers with the Lord, man. So even through the ups, through the downs, through the spirit, right? We got to still be there, and the Most High, He's going to be there. So really, the ball is in your court, man. So we got to do what we got to do. Most High willing to still be there, right? Why? Because we're for lifers, man. With the Lord, with Yahweh Shah Mashiach, man. But Khan, I'm gonna pass it to the brother.
Khan, King, that's a beautiful point, man. I wanted to build off of that in the book of Psalm, the 88th Psalm and the 15th verse. Really starting at the 13th. The 88th Psalm and the 13th verse, it says, but unto thee have I cried, O Lord, and in the morning shall my prayer prevent thee. Lord, why castest thou off my soul? Why hidest thou thy face from me? Look what David said in verse 15. I am afflicted and ready to die from my youth up. While I suffer thy terrors, I am distracted. Again, you're not the only one. When the scriptures say the things written aforetime are written for our learning, we got to take that and be like, okay. Yeah, somebody's been through some hard stuff before. Yeah, David said while he's suffering the terrors, he's distracted. Brothers and sisters dealing with all types of things right now. And then you got all types of, obstacles flying at you from left field. You getting distracted by X, Y, and Z. And hey, there's all types of distractions that are preventing you from dealing with the circumstances that you're faced with. But guess what? David, he said the same exact thing. He said that he was distracted as well. So, you know, it's much deeper, you know, than what we perceive when we're going through something as an individual. Yeah, the Lord, he judges by nations, of course. We understand that collectively as a nation, we are under the curses. But for each and every single one of our lots as an individual, things, you know, are going to be slightly different. You feel me? The brother Yakar, he has access to some things in this world that I won't have access to. You know, hey, other brothers got, you know, gifts and things of that nature that I don't have. There's things that the Lord has given me that he hasn't given to everybody else. Good and bad. Don't be the type of brother or the type of sister that only wants to take the good from the Most High God. Like brother Yakar just said, hey, we got to be locked in with the Lord. I saw a brother caption earlier today on one of his pictures. He said, I don't care about this fight. I'm still locked in with the Most High. All caps, nothing but exclamation points. Yeah, that's the type of mentality we got to have. Who care about this fight, man? He just read in 2 Corinthians chapter 4 that this is only but for a moment. Regardless of what's going on, man, hey, you got to have that type of mentality. Like, nope. It's always Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Everything trying to distract me. Everything trying to, hey, you got demons out here trying to take your spirit away from you. You feel me? You got situations that you feel like you just can't win in. You feel like you the bad guy when you walk into certain rooms. You got people despising you, speaking on you. You feel me? You got your job in your workplace working you like a Hebrew slave, because you are a Hebrew slave. It's hard to, you know, keep peace in the household with your spouse. It's hard for you to teach your children. You was in a real bad accident 8 years ago and you still dealing with the physical ailments that come from that. Your mother and your father, they despise you because of, you know, this new knowledge that you've taken on. I know a brother, he was burnt alive. Literally. So he has to deal with the physical reminder and the physical pain of that for the rest of his life. You got people out here in this world that recently just lost loved ones that they've been closely connected to. You got people in this life that have lost loved ones long times ago that they're wishing it was still here to help them and aid them to this day. Yeah, everybody got something they dealing with. But for the Most High God, we got to be willing to drink of that cup. For real. You know, and it's a beautiful thing when it's all said and done. As the saying goes, the proverb of the world, hindsight is 20/20. So when you look back on these situations, just like your car just said, I'm just repeating the same thing. That's one thing about it. We can't tell nobody how to deal with what they're dealing with. Well, okay, well, look, you do exactly X, Y. There's no formula to say, okay, this is going to alleviate your pain, your emotional pain. If you do this, a step by step, block by block. Now every situation is different. Brothers can give you advice, brothers can give you counsel, brothers can give you exhortation, but you got to be the one to actually get in the mud and, you know, hey, conjure some things up. You feel me? So that's the point that I wanted to make with that, King. You got it.
King, yeah. We're gonna wind down through the spirit. So yeah, I say be patient with yourself, man. Be patient with yourself, be patient with the Lord, man. And have faith within the Most High God. Because dark days are now, but that doesn't mean that's tomorrow, man. Because I'm thinking, how often do you think it rains all day, then you wake up tomorrow and it's still raining? You know, that's at least from my experience, that's very rare. You wake up and it's raining. You go throughout your whole day. You go to sleep. You wake up the next day, and that's a rare. I don't even really recall that happening for real, where it's that bad. It may happen maybe once a year, maybe once every few years. But that's not a common thing, man. So I'm gonna close out with this. I'm gonna pass it to the brother, man. So keep your faith up through the spirit, right? You're gonna feel low. You're gonna feel weak. That's a part of this truth, man. Hey, that's how I know that I'm in the truth. Sometimes, man, when battle these demons, temptation, I'm a son of God, man. These people in the world, they're not worried about battling pride demons and battling hating their brother demons, man, and battling grudges, man. They hold on to these things. People in the world, they may go through it, but they don't know that it's spirits, that it's demons. So we're held to a higher standard within this truth. Now, this is Psalms chapter 31, verse number 22. For I said, in my haste, I am cut off from before thine eyes. Man, it's easy. This is David. And David, who the Most High was dealing with since the book of First Samuel, right? The 16th chapter, he still felt like he was cut off. Even after Saul chased him and the Most High delivered him. Even after he put the rock in the sling and he knocked out Goliath by the power of the Most High. And even he still felt like he was cut off. Even after his son Absalom was hunting him down, man, aiming to kill him. Even after he died, after Saul died, the Benjamites were still trying to hunt down. Abner was still trying to hunt down David. The Most High kept him safe. Huh? So even after all of these things, he still said, I am cut off before thine eyes. Nevertheless, thou heardest the voice of my supplication when I cried unto thee, O love Yahweh, all ye his saints, for the Lord preserveth the faithful. Man. So if you don't have faith, if you're not fighting, I mean, how can you expect to be preserved? That's the least you can do is fight, man. Is have faith, huh? And have faith that the Lord is going to preserve you and plentifully rewardeth the proud doer. Be of good courage, and he shall strengthen your heart, all ye that hope in Yahweh. So be of good courage. Let's see what this word courage means. An ability to do something that frightens one. So we have to have courage in this thing. We have to be strength. And that's a mighty thing to pray for is strength within this truth, man. The ability to be able to endure unto the end. Stop praying for a wife all day and money and more wisdom. Brother, pray for some strength, right? Pray that you can endure in this thing, huh? Pray that the Most High can keep you steadfast and stable within this truth, you know? Because if we do that and hope unto the Lord, we understand that the Lord preserveth the faithful, huh? So we got to have faith in that. I remember a mighty brother said that he kind of tries like the Most High. I kept that in the back of my mind. He's trying to. So if the Most High wrote it, then he wrote it. It is what it is, man. So if the Most High said, all right, I'm gonna go back to it. Right, if the Most High God said He preserves the faithful, we got to kind of hold the Most High at His word, man. If the Lord says He's going to preserve me, if I maintain my faith, if I continue to fight, man, if I do not give up, then hey, it is what it is. You got to kind of hold the Lord with His words, man. We got to be bold and confident within that, man. So even when times get tough, even when you're battling damn demons, your parents, damn job, damn woman, damn man, damn camp, damn this brother, then this sister, then school. It'd be a million things sometimes, man. Understand that the Most High is going to preserve you. You know, maintain that faith, right? Keep working, keep striving, keep swinging, and do not give up within this truth, man. But come on, King, I'm gonna pass it back to you.
Con. And this beautiful thing about that verse that you just brought out, King, David said, I said in my haste.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times we be so damn woe is me, and you feel me? We be so out of it that again, once we look back on a situation, we be like, damn, I could have been, much more faithful.
Yep.
Much more faithful. That's a beautiful precept, King. The water for that. This the book of Isaiah, chapter 41, and verse number 6. Isaiah chapter 41 and verse number 6. I'll let you bring it up. So like it, King. This is something that we definitely need to do a much better job of, even amongst the nation, dealing with each other. Because when we understand that everybody has unique battles, unique blessings, and unique curses, then we have to be, that much more receptive to our brothers and sisters, and that much more understanding to our brothers and sisters. You feel me? Because everybody got some different that they've been through and that they've endured. Isaiah 41 and 6. They helped everyone his neighbor, and everyone said to his brother, be of good courage. And that's exactly what we have to say unto each other. Yeah, sometimes the brother in your car, he may have to call me up. And it may sound like he's, going in and shaking a hand at me. But he may be like, hey, Yishmael, you better than that, man. Hey, you can keep more faith. You can do this. You can do that. You can make it to the other side. You feel me? Hey, I may do that with another brother. Hey, another brother may do that with me. But we have to encourage each other. Not take 3-4 precepts. Then take the Bible. Basically, what we be doing sometimes, brothers take the Bible and smacking up a brother's head, man.
For the precept pack.
You
I got these 14 precepts. It's gonna get you right, Doc.
Look, a lot of brothers and a lot of sisters, you pull, Eliphaz. You pull what Job's friends did to him in the midst of his affliction. Yeah, we can't do that. We can't do that. So not only would that be, more helpful in building those bonds when we are going through those things, but that would, show the Most High that we actually love one another. You feel me? Verse 7, it says, so the carpenter encouraged the goldsmith, and he that smootheth with the hammer, him that smote the anvil, saying, it is ready for the soldering, and he fastened it with nails that it should not move. But the point that I wanted to emphasize is where it says, and so the carpenter encouraged the goldsmith. Yeah, everybody got a different life. They got different jobs, different work that they have to take on. The carpenter, he deals with something completely different than what the goldsmith does, and what the goldsmith deals with, and the equipment, and the time, and the patience, and the precision, and the skill. Everything is different between the carpenter and the goldsmith. But the carpenter is still encouraging the goldsmith. How is that? When the carpenter isn't a goldsmith. But, I just want to make that point as well. We have to do a much better job encouraging one another. Most High willing brothers and sisters feel encouraged by this video. That you can last, that you can go one more day, one more step, and keep the faith in the Most High God.
Yeah, I just want to add to that, King, because we got to be patient with one another in this thing. If I call you Shmaya, yeah, I'm dealing with this. I don't expect the brother to laugh. That's on a light level, that's the level one demon. I don't want to hear that, man. I'm sincerely, yeah, brother. Because again, you have men that are on different levels, sisters that are on different levels, man. He may be a spiritually strong, then brother may have experience within the world dealing with things, experience within the truth dealing with things. His brother may be real built up mentally, spiritually. So if I come to him and say, yeah, I'm dealing with this, I don't want to hear, well, that's on a light level. And the brother kind of try to go big on big. Well, I'm dealing with this. I don't want to hear that, man. So we have to humble down through the Spirit, and be able to relate through the Spirit, and put yourself in somebody else's shoes through the Spirit to be able to help, man. You know, because that's certain people's lives. Certain people have the responsibility to help, to be a shepherd, to guide the Most High sheep. That doesn't mean you yanking the sheep up by the neck, by the throat, and damn breaking ankles and leg. I mean, that's folly, man. But we have to humbly guide the sheep, man, and be sincere, be lowly. So why? Because we wanted to get to the kingdom, man. We're trying to help at the end of the day. And you getting proud and telling them that sister, that's nothing. That's nothing. And you talking about that's nothing. And this is the brother said, you get the Bible, you look at the sister, and you slap her with the precepts. Spiritually, of course. Or maybe physically, I don't know. But chiefly spiritually, man. Give her 8 precepts and then you hang up the phone. I got other stuff to worry about. That's not the spirit of like the Lord, man. So we have to help one another through the Spirit. We got to also be able to strengthen ourselves via the precepts, via prayer, via getting advice when we hit rock bottom. Then I'm going to pass it back to the brother. If you don't have anything else to say, we're going to close out. Come. And all praises to the Most High God, man, giving all honor and glory to Yahweh in the name of his only begotten Son, Hamashiach, Wamalak Yahushua. Lord willing, this video was edifying through the Spirit, man. Israel, stay strong, man. When you hit rock bottom, there's only one place to go, and that's up, man. So continue to swing. Most High willing, continue to take steps forward within this truth, right? All praise to the Most High God. Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, Barakatah, Shalom.
Come, Shalom.